Good day, warriors, and welcome to a bit of a spooky setting here in the vehicle yet again. Oh gosh. All right. I think the last time I was in here I filmed a Dark Day Diaries, and yes, I am in here yet again with another Dark Day Diary journal log. Now, these Dark Day Diaries, like the purpose of these, just like any of my videos on this channel, is disclaimer, like these videos are for those who are like me, who relate to me, who have social anxiety in the way that I do, because we're all a little bit different, but we can be a lot in the same type of categories with how our mental illnesses are and alike. So this is me and this is my story. We all have a story to tell, and from at least my perspective of watching YouTube for so long, it's made me feel so comforted to have someone to just listen to. Like, I've always loved story times, but especially for just something to relate to. So that also goes to the point of putting this out there and spreading some awareness and hopefully some care and comfort to those who are going through what I'm going through. Alright guys, social anxiety. I haven't talked about social anxiety on this channel quite that much because I have mastered it quite a bit. But when it comes to when you actually sit down with yourself and work on yourself, you really do find what needs some working on still. And as much as I've worked on my social anxiety, there's always room for improvement. All right. This is going to be split up a bit because of thoughts processing. Now, with the point that I'm at with my social anxiety, I know what the thoughts are, and I know how to, I guess the word is counteract them. Like, I know what they are. They don't control me because they're not real, they're not true, they're not the truth. But I'm at the point where it's underliers. So the thoughts still go on, you know what they are, and you go about your day, but it's still that chatter in the background that I feel like it's underneath like a layer of skin in my brain that's like still chattering, trying to get out from under, I guess you could say, the rug. Yeah, it's like sweeping it under the rug. Yeah. So, yeah, it's like you hear that background chatter and it obviously gets really annoying at some point. And that's like when it kind of like bubbles up. So like when it actually does get out from under the rug, I guess you could say, because it's squirming so much. Like, if you don't, I wouldn't say fix, but if you don't give something attention, it's just, okay, here's a great example. So if you don't give a pot of boiling water, if you don't give a pot of water that's given heat, it will boil and boil and boil until it boils over and blows the top. It blows the lid off. So that's how I feel like it is with social anxiety, but not even social anxiety. This can compare with so many things, but so can so many other topics people talk about, and that's what kind of drives me crazy, because something can relate to another depending what your perspective is. But our perspective right now, what I'm talking about, is social anxiety. So having all these thoughts bubble up, it'll eventually blow over, is what I'm saying. If not tended to. But here's the thing. I know what the social anxiety thoughts are, And it's like, okay, you're not true, you're not real, so, it's like, what do you want? What do you need from me so you can simmer down, so the heat can stop getting you all riled up so that you boil over eventually. Noises. Let me see. So that's actually something I've been really tackling right now is, it's like a chemical imbalance in the brain, so it's there no matter what kind of thing, because we all have, or at least most people have, this type of disorder or even physical that it needs medical tending to in order for it to stop. Like, it's so fantastic to work on yourself and get to know yourself more and all that, which is what I heavily express is healthy, at least from my opinion, on this channel. But there's just some things that really need that medical assistance. And that's what I greatly feel with this social anxiety. With all the years I have worked on it, but it's still there. Like, it's not as loud, but it's still there, But I guess that's the thing of having a mental illness, Like, it's just there with you. But what I'm getting to is, what am I saying? What I'm thinking my strategy right now is to because it keeps going. Like, it's a repeated cycle, and that's a thing that a lot of us deal with, especially with something that hurt us that we experienced. It keeps going on a cycle in our brain, keeps repeating and repeating. So same thing with this anxiety. You're trying to like cover the lid on it so it doesn't boil over, because it's like, yeah, I get it, I know what you keep on saying, can you just be quiet please and leave me alone so I can actually live? And I think to counteract it, this is what I'm doing right now, like right now, is to give it something to give it back a cycle that's good. So here's a pretty general example. So your anxiety keeps telling you over and over, I'm not okay, I'm not okay, I'm not okay, I'm not okay. The dumb kind of way is to be like, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. I make this funny. This isn't, oh my gosh. I'm trying to, yeah, you can do that, but your anxiety, or at least, it's like anxiety combined with other stuff. I think it's anxiety combined with the ego, because the ego always needs to be fed. I'm actually learning about that recently, how big the ego is and how much it always needs to be fed. That sounded like singing, but I hope that was a horn or something. That was weird. That was really weird. Spooky time. Wow. But so it's train of thought. So it's to come back with it with an explanation that will convince it. Yeah, I was going with the ego. Don't feed the ego. There's a lot of vehicles behind me. One thing is, do not feed the ego, just like you do not feed your social anxiety. Just like goes along with any type of darkness that you have in your mind, in your soul, and not in your soul. Our souls are pure, guys. Our souls are pure. It's everything else that gets affected, emotions and body of darkness stuff. To word is difficult. Okay, guys, I'm trying to be serious here. And my brain is like, happy. I need to be happy. Which we all do. But there's times to be serious. What I was saying, okay, ego and social anxiety both really need to be fed, and they'll get bigger and bigger if you feed them the not so good stuff that you keep going along with what they're saying, which isn't good for you. So it's those two, if you do have those two like me, that you need to learn to counteract. So every negative has its positive. So that's what you need to do. So I was like saying, it says, I'm not okay, I'm not okay, I'm not okay. Or you say, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. But no, you have to be descriptive. You have to give it a definition. Like, you have to give it a sentence. So the anxiety is convinced and understands. And you say, all the reasons that you are okay. And that one constant I'm not okay will turn to, oh, I guess I am okay. So for example, if you guys saw earlier before it got dark, I got Stitch with me. So just an example, I'm in the dark. Anxiety could be like, oh, it's really scary. There's no one here that can comfort me. Well, for one, I have myself. I can comfort myself. But for two, I got Stitch with me. So it lied. Like it lied to me. Like I'm not alone. I got myself and I got my Stitch. Guys, I really hope this video helped in some sort of way. Guys, this is the perfect example of just ADHD and how it runs my life, but this is just like a diary of, like I was saying, my life. And I haven't been on here in a bit. I've been going through with what I'm talking about right here, so I thought I should hop on while... It's so interesting because it's like you don't feel good, and then once you go and do something, and then you feel so much better. Like me presenting myself to you, like a few minutes ago, I wasn't doing so hot. Like my anxiety was getting at me, but that's also what I've learned is doing. Like just getting up and keeping going and not sitting and staying in the same place for a long time. That was like an accent there. Staying in the same place for a long time. That's what I've always heard from like everybody. It's good and great to keep busy, and it really, really is. So that your mind just isn't like, oh, you're just sitting there, so I'm gonna beat a drum. I'm thinking of the YouTube wording standards, but you know what I mean, to be not nice to you, you know, like you're sitting around, so I'll do that with how your brain is, and that's exactly what was happening. It was getting me for the stuff that I am trying to fix and trying to change so I don't do anymore, so I can be a better me. And guys, it really is tough. Like, that's, guys, this channel, warriors, we are all warriors. Like, absolute warrior with the IBS, and it's actually called IBSD, by the way. IBS is a general term, but I have IBSD. I haven't clarified that, because I only realized that, like, we're all learning again, but I have IBSD. But, yeah, with what I was saying, I forgot what I was saying. This is some fun lighting, isn't it? ADHD, guys, at its finest. Oh yeah, I was saying I wasn't feeling so good earlier, but yeah, always doing something. See, that's what ADHD brain, it's always like rewind. Okay, what happened? And then it's like, okay, here I am. Well, if you guys are just here for the company, welcome and thank you for joining me. I am very flattered and happy, those kinds of words, that you enjoy my company. That's what that means. If you are still here, you enjoy my company. So thank you very much. I actually tried to look again of what job I can get. I would really love to have an income, but it's trying here, like we all are. Trying to give you, I'm just telling you guys about my day. That's what I really put an effort into today. But yeah, it's the reality. This is reality. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I really just hope someone can benefit from this video of how real it is, that we all deal with something mental, physical, outside of us, all of that. And that's life. Like, no one's life is perfect. Even if you have everything of something in the world, even having everything of something, you are not happy. So you're going through something still. So don't think that having so much of this will be your happiness. Just with life, you have to have a good balance of everything as much as you can. And that's the thing of just juggling it and just going about it. But it's just absolutely living and learning. And I love, I don't think you guys have noticed this. I love double letters together, like living and learning. I just love that. Another L. But yeah, just surround yourself by what makes you happy as much as you can as you go about the adventure. And if you're able to, have one of those things be your own best friend that's right in here at all times. Your soul, your higher self, your child self, all of that stuff. Wow, this video went from a dark day diaries to a really positive, just hanging out one. Maybe I'll do 2 different videos. No, I'm not going to. It just, noises, guys. ADHD is like, what is that? Oh, hey, update 2. My gosh, this video is full of everything. It's not that I give up. It's just, this is my life. Exactly. Guys, you already know. But no, I was gonna say, this goes with the setting. I was able to get, because it was a major sale, I was able to get one of my most favorite scary, spooky video games. Now, I'm not a very spooky kind of person. I was just watching a YouTube video of a medium. Like, I found these mediums that are like so awesome. Like around like my age, which is really cool, which I've never discovered before. So it's like, I love it. But my point is that I only like getting spooked so much because I feel like it helps my social anxiety, because the social anxiety always makes you, okay, one of these I've heard before is that social anxiety is like, there's the battle music happening like in a video game. Like whenever battle music goes on, that means you're gonna have a lot of foes to go against to defeat. And that's the thing with social anxiety. That music is always coming on everywhere, but you don't know, you never see any of the foes. So that's what makes you all like, who goes there? What? Huh. So you're always like panicked. But yeah, I've been watching like, I watch spooky stuff here and there of what fits me that isn't too scary. I feel like it kind of helps my social anxiety because it's always like that and kind of like goes on the same plane vibration of that. But what I was gonna say, see, I try to make myself feel better with this because I always, it's the ADHD trailing and everything like that. And I feel bad because then people are going to get bored. But it's like the true ones stay. You know, if they want to watch, they will stay if they like you and all of that. I thought I just saw something, but I blanked out. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, I need to... See, anyways, I was going to say, I got one of my favorite video games for a very great price, even though I don't... and I'm going to attempt to try to play it on my Twitch. My Twitch is at the description of every video description in my videos. Yeah, down below. Along with my GoFundMe and Cash App, if whatever way, if you have the extra expenses that you want to help me out. I'm going to be streaming it on my Twitch. So it's one of my favorite video games. I'm not gonna say what it is, because if you're able to and want to hang out with me live, I know you guys like the lives on this. I'm going to try to play that if I feel good enough. But I will feel good enough because I was able to do this video just before I was all anxiety earlier. Then again, I'm on my period. It's tough being a specific. It's tough having these parts of being a female, but still, either way, we all go through our stuff. I at least feel like the anxiety is more intense. Now I feel like I blew my cover, but it's not even blowing cover. It's like, it's not an excuse. Like, we go through all this stuff, like, good or bad. Like, I still have the anxiety, even if I'm not on this. It's just a bit, emotions are just here, there, everywhere. But then it's like that anyway with, guys, I shouldn't need to explain myself, even though I feel like I need to, because this is the internet, and there are a lot of judgmental people, but do not let those people get to you at all, because that's just not the good vibes, man. And that's just not the way to live. And that just means those people are hurting. Anyways, I think I've went on for a good amount of time now. Alright, thank you for joining me. Catch me live on Twitch. I think I will, I'm going to put a shout out on this channel of, I don't know what it's called, a reel, YouTube reel. There's so many different things on here, but I'm going to put that on here, because most of the audience is on here. I do have an Instagram, but I have like 1% of my audience on my Instagram. Down below, if you do want to follow me, by the way, I post the most inspirational stuff that I find in my own Instagram feed, and some from my own self on my Instagram story, and some of my favorite memories in my Instagram. So if you'd like to follow me on there, I do have other platforms, but in the meanwhile, I do hope to get to stream on Twitch with my favorite scary-ish video game, and you'll probably see me kind of be like in anxiety mode, like, oh my gosh. Alright, well, I was gonna say I hope you have a good night, because obviously it's nighttime right now for me. But, Stitch wishes you a good day and a good night whenever that is for you, and so do I as well. Stay safe, stay healthy, and remember that you are your own best friend. You can defeat your demons. You can go against them as long as you have the right tools and guidance to do that, because it can be pretty tough. So bring a flashlight. Bring a flashlight. That's literally my light right now. Whoa, in my eyes. Okay, well, it was so great and very nice to see you again, and I will see you guys in the next video. Again, socials down below, GoFundMe and Cash App. If you'd like to help me out, that would mean the world. Alright, yeah, I'll see you in the next one. See ya!
Lots to learn when you're new, isn't there?